Hi everyone. Thanks for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast. My name is Karina and I'm a psychic medium out of Calgary, Alberta. Today's episode is all about trust. If there's anyone that understands how difficult it is to trust, it's me. When I was growing up, the people that I was supposed to be able to trust the most were the very ones that hurt me on the deepest levels. I have spent most of my life extremely guarded, being very cautious with everyone that was in my life. And as I got older, I opened up to my abilities, and trust became even more difficult. I saw and knew things about people that most would never even notice. People have looked me right in the eye and lied to my face, thinking that I had no idea. But as they were speaking, I was hearing from my guides that it was a blatant lie. And I don't always let on that I know the truth. But I find it interesting nowadays that even knowing that I work as a psychic medium, and some will still lie to me with a straight face, thinking that I have no clue. So you see, trust for me was and still is an issue. I do want to trust people fully, but knowing and seeing too much can leave me extra guarded. The only one person that I have truly been able to trust with every single ounce of me is my husband. Throughout our 24 years together, the ups and downs, parenthood, and struggles, he is the one person that I can fully let go with and trust. And I know his soul. I know every single layer of him, and I have never been able to trust anyone on this earth the way that I trust him. I understand having this relationship is an absolute gift, and it's a complete blessing. And I believe that the universe knew that I needed this one person, my soulmate, to trust, as I have not been able to trust many people in my past. I also understand that for many people, trust is a major issue. It isn't always a spouse or partner that people struggle with trusting. It is also with their family, friends, or even co-workers. I work with so many clients that struggle with trust issues. They may have had a partner cheat on them, or a family member hurt them deeply, or even a friend that they have trusted that ended up breaking that level of trust, and it leaves them guarding their hearts forever. And so I wanted to do this episode to try to help with learning to trust again, but also using intuition to navigate through relationships so that it can help to know who is trustworthy or not. I recently found a few quotes about trust and I wanted to share them. They really make you stop and think. The first one is, if they broke your trust first time, it's their mistake. But if they broke it twice, it's your mistake to trust them again. The second is, trust is like an eraser. It gets smaller after every mistake. The third, trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. And the fourth, breaking someone's trust is like crumpling up a perfect piece of paper. You could smooth it over, but it's never going to be the same again. Most of us have had trust issues at one point in our life or another, and some of those experiences have caused great pain. It can make us scared to trust again, but trust is one of those things that we must not avoid. We can't live a life with a closed-off heart. We would be missing out on so many wonderful people and experiences. We have to face our feelings head-on. Will everyone in the world hurt us? No, of course not. But we must find the way to use our gift of intuition to figure out who is trustworthy and work on building that relationship with an open heart. So now let's go through some of the ways that you can learn to trust again. Number 1, understanding that because each and every one of us has had our trust compromised in some way, we have all been left hurt, rejected, abandoned, or disappointed. So basically, we're all in the same boat. We are all a little guarded, and we all try to avoid being hurt again. So if you can view it from this perspective, you would understand that we are all just trying to be happy. And maybe, just maybe, you will learn to let others in again, knowing that perhaps they are just as afraid as you are. Number 2, recognizing that trust does not come with any sort of guarantee. When you enter a relationship, whether that be with a romantic partner, a friend, co-worker, or business partner, nothing is ever guaranteed. You may get hurt, or you may be rejected. We can't control every single detail in our life, and trusting someone needs to be a decision that you make knowing that there is absolutely zero guarantee that you won't get hurt. We just have to sometimes take a risk and let go and take a chance, because that's what life is all about: lessons, learning, and evolving. Number 3, we have a tendency to hold off on trusting people until we feel that they have earned our trust. And we do this as a form of protection to guard our hearts, but that's actually the problem. We expect others to be perfect. We place a form of perfectionism on the relationship, and that doesn't allow for the person to make any mistakes or be human. It's impossible for anyone to live a perfect existence. Not only are they going to screw up and make a poor choice now and again, so will you, whether you believe it or not. Number 4, know that the people who have hurt you in your past do not justify a future of untrust with others. Because we have all been hurt in our lives, we can put up such a thick shield around us that we think is protecting us. But in reality, it's not keeping us safe. It keeps us lonely and sad. We have to learn to break down that shield and let people in, because we will end up keeping the good ones out and blocked if that wall is too thick. And what a shame that would be. Number 5, learning to have faith in the unknown. None of us can live a life that is perfectly predicted. Shit is going to go wrong sometimes. It's all about the lessons we need to learn in order to grow and evolve. I haven't met one single person that hasn't been hurt by someone. And it sucks. Yes, it's painful. But it's impossible to live a life on eggshells, almost bracing for the next upset. That is no way to live. The best thing we can do is have faith in better situations and people being brought into our lives, and to learn to let go and live a little. Every person in every situation happens for a reason. Yes, the good and the bad, and that isn't always easy to hear. But it is true. Try to take the lesson from the people who have hurt you and move forward with blind faith that better days will come. Number 6, forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be hurt. Just because someone hurt you does not mean that you have poor judgment. It is important to learn to trust yourself. We can all go against our better judgment and intuition, but that is part of living a human existence. We are going to screw up. We are going to get it wrong, and we're going to trust and be hurt over and over in our lives. But the best thing that any of us can do is forgive, not only the other person, but forgive ourselves for letting our guards down. All we can do for our future is try our best to trust our intuition and let our faith and our spirit guides lead the way. Number 7, work on forgiving those who hurt or betrayed you. Holding on to anger hurts you, not them. Try to forgive to release yourself karmically from the energy that keeps you bound to them. This very important step will free you and allow you to love and trust again. Number 8, allow yourself to grieve. Grieving a relationship, whether that be a romantic partner or another type, you will still grieve the person you thought that you knew that turned out to be someone different. You will grieve the life or friendship that you once had with them, and it will hurt. This part is crucial for learning to trust again. You must allow yourself the time to work through all of the emotions in order to heal. Feel it to heal it is always my motto, and it sucks, but it does work. And believe me, I know all of these tips are not easy to do, hence why I say I still can be guarded with friends and family. I'm one of those people who truly believes in forgiveness, but I'm also one of those people that will always remember how I was treated. I will always have it in the back of my mind that I was hurt, and as much as I will forgive and move forward, I will do so with strict boundaries in place because I believe I deserve to be treated the way that I treat others, and I won't accept any less. I choose to have faith that whatever situation is presented to me, that it's for a reason, and I work hard at trusting my intuition, and I'm accepting that I won't always get it right. I'm going to let people in, and I'm going to get hurt again. This is part of life. And as much as I naturally want to guard myself from being hurt, I also know that I can't live my life with fear, because if I fear that I'm going to be hurt again, I will attract just that, people who will hurt me. Some situations are a lesson, but others may be brought about by the law of attraction. So do you keep meeting the same type of people that continuously hurt you? Have you noticed that you've been anticipating a situation or bracing yourself for the next time you will get hurt? Have you found yourself complaining that you only meet people that treat you badly? You could be attracting those situations to you. And I know this because I did this, and sometimes I still struggle with doing this. It's extremely hard to learn to trust again. I get it, but I also believe it's the one thing that we should continuously work on so that we can open up our hearts to the ones that deserve to be in our lives. We can have amazing souls show up to share our lives with if we just learn to trust a little bit more every day. So I want to leave you all with this today. You have been hurt. I have been hurt. We have all been hurt. But you have also been loved. I have been loved, and we will all be loved again. If we can all just try to understand that we are here on this earth to learn some very important lessons, and nothing in life will ever be easy, but it's how we choose to deal with our challenges that will help us to grow, evolve, and hopefully learn to trust again. Thank you all so much for joining me today on the Divine Messages podcast, and I hope that this episode will help you all to open up your hearts once again to trusting others, little by little. If you would like to book a reading with me, I can be reached at www.divinemessages.ca or on social media on Instagram at Divine Messages 333 or at the Divine Messages Podcast, and on Facebook at the Divine Messages Podcast or Divine Messages. Please bear in mind that the perspectives and opinions represented in this podcast are based solely on the Divine Messages interpretations. We can in no way be held responsible for the actions of our followers.